Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Knapik. Every week we talk about success and everything that goes along with it. You'll learn the principles of success, how to achieve success, and learn to overcome challenges that may be getting in the way of success in your life. You'll hear from Bill Knapik, a radio personality and business development expert, along with insight from special guests. If you're ready to find your path to success or take the success you're enjoying to the next level, stay tuned. Successful Living with Bill Knapik is on right now.
And welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Knapik, and today's Successful Living with Mary, Scalli, Karen, Buddy, and Lexi Berger. What a great show. We talk about success. One of the things that helps us have the right mindset for success, or just have the right mindset in general, is to have a great home, to have it look good. And it's where we start our day, where we come home. And Mary and her company and her team are going to tell us about what she does and what the team does at a company called, right here in Houston, Texas, Simple Elegance. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Three ladies, one powerful company all over Houston. Let's tell people, Mary, first of all, about your company, Simple Elegance.
Okay, well, thank you. Simple Elegance, we were just talking about this. We moved from New England in 2009, and I had a business. I had a window treatment business on Cape Cod there, but then when the Shell called and said we had to transfer to Houston from Cape Cod, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to reopen it down in Texas. And so I started with interior design and specializing in window treatments, but I'd always wanted to get into home staging. I love the creativity in home staging. And so in 2012, I got my accredited staging professional certification through stagedhomes.com. And with staging, just a little thing, it's an unlicensed business. And so we really, really make sure that everybody on our team are all accredited staging professionals. They all have to go through the class so that they know what to do and that we're all doing the same thing and we all say the same things. And we really know how to prepare a house to get it sold for top dollar in the quickest amount of time. And so that was in 2012. I did that. And then 2014, I took my master's in staging with Barb Schwartz, who is the creator of home staging. We have just been continuing.
She sounds like she's the staging whisperer, if you will.
She's the staging mama.
Okay. That'll work, too.
I love Barb.
Let's tell her name again, Barbara.
Barb Schwartz,
okay,
creator of home staging business, the whole thing. She was actually a realtor back in the 70s, and, she was listing houses just like everybody else, and they weren't selling. And she'd been in theater, and she's like, what do they do in the theater? They set the stage for a successful program, and you get drawn into the theater. And she's like, well, why aren't we doing that in our homes? Are they not the generally our biggest investment?
Sure.
You know? And so, so many times we'll go and we'll detail our car to sell our car, but do we detail our house? And it's like, no, we really should be detailing our house more than we detail our car to get top dollar for our house in the quickest amount of time.
That's so interesting, because sometimes the great business ideas are the ones that are sitting right there, right before us. It's the obvious, it's the logical things that take place that become these great businesses. And of course, simple, as in Simple Elegance. So when you came to Houston, the real estate market, and in fact, right now, I would say it's very good.
It's fabulous.
So people are moving to Houston. So these are all potentials for your business. And give us an idea what's involved because a lot of homes are sold and listed where they are not staged. In fact, I was with a friend looking at homes recently, and I'm looking at these homes. I'm like, oh my goodness. It might be a nice home, but I'm confused by this clutter, and I'm confused by the mismatch of everything. It didn't feel right.
Exactly.
Staging makes it feel
good. And
good.
you know what staging does? It really tells the story of the house. When the house goes on the market, it's no longer your home. It's a commodity.
It's a product.
It's a product. It's just like going to the grocery store. How often do you go to the grocery store to spend $5 on eggs and milk and come out spending $100?
It happens.
Like almost all the time. Have they done that on purpose? Yeah, they've set it up for you to buy. Now, I just saw actually another stager, and I can't remember where it was, but there was two houses identical on the market, and one was staged, one was not. The one that was staged sold for $685,000. The one that was not sold for $635,000. So for realtors that are not using staging, I would say you're leaving money on the table for your sellers. And your job as a great realtor is to get top dollar and in the quickest amount of time. So staging really does not leave any money on the table. It really gets every penny out of that house that a seller should be getting.
So it sounds like, Mary, when they shouldn't ask how much is it going to cost me to have my home staged, but how much what is the investment? What's the return on the investment?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, return on investment. And a lot of times we will see 200% return on investment on the staging.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. And I will say, since I have brought in Miss Karen Buddy as my sales rep, our business has skyrocketed because she is just focused on building relationships with realtors.
Getting the word out.
That's her job, is going and having coffee.
Tell us about that, Karen. That's great. So as you are out there in the market, what are the things that you're doing to bring awareness to Simple Elegance, and how are you able to boost that business? Because that's very important. That's invaluable.
Absolutely. And it's really all about networking and building that relationship. So we try to get into real estate offices often too, just to educate realtors. So we'll do a presentation on staging because often they don't realize the value that it brings to their seller, as Mary was talking about, the return on investment. And really seeing is believing. So when they see the before and after pictures too, that really helps make a great impression. So if I go out and meet somebody for coffee, I'm going to share all of that. We're going to talk about their business and what type of sales are they in, as far as commercial, residential, that type of thing, and what their sellers or buyers are looking for. And so it comes into play with, just building that relationship, and I'll go out and meet their seller if we need to do that and help them understand the value. So really about communicating a lot.
It sounds like a fun presentation because people first of all, they love before and after pictures.
Yes, they do.
And many people, when we talk to people in real estate about why they got involved in real estate to begin with, many of them reminisce and say, I used to get the Sunday paper out and look at homes. And we know people are fans of just going to model homes, even when they don't need a home, to get these ideas. So you guys are in the eye of the staging and the decorating and design hurricane, if you will, that everybody loves. So you have something people like.
It's fun.
It's super fun.
People are constantly saying, we're so jealous of your job. And I'm like, well, in a 115-degree day when we're schlepping furniture, you might not be so jealous of the glamour.
That's right. One more. We're not quite done yet.
But how did you like that? In the eye of the design hurricane. I think we're going to do something with that.
Yeah, I love that. And that's going to head over to Lexi.
Let's talk to Lexi. And when we talk about creativity and design and those things, Lexi, let's tell people what you do for the company.
I am the, in-home interior designer, and so I get to help people, make their home dreams come to life. People when, I get to do, more with home staging to live. When you get into a new home, especially, you have a vision for what do you want it to become, but then also sometimes you're not entirely sure how to roadmap that, how to get to that end goal. And so I get to kind of partner with people and help their visions come to life.
Well, let me ask you this. When you walk into a room, let's say you're staging a living area, right? I don't know, the family room, the living area, but when you go to that room for a client, and I'm going to guess some of the times the home is empty and some of the times there's furniture there, right? So with your creative eye, what are the things that you see when you look at this project, and what goes through your mind as you're looking how to bring the right furniture there for the home and to stage it, or just to simply design it so they can live there?
A lot of it is, it's just kind of like a giant puzzle. So you go in and you talk with the client and see what pieces do they want to work with and keep, because, you have those family heirlooms you want to keep. You have pieces that you fall in love with, but you're also moving into a new home a lot of times. And so you have new things that you're wanting to incorporate. And so you look at the space that you're working within and kind of piece together, okay, where can I put certain pieces? Where can I add new pieces? What's going to function best for my family? What's going to function, what's something that's pretty but not functional, but I still want to keep in the room. And you kind of just piece it all together. You work around, keep reworking things, and eventually it all comes together.
Right?
And and you see the big picture.
Well, when you stage a home, and as we're talking with Mary about getting the maximum dollar and getting a better price, as I would list my home, let's say, what are the design or the types of design that seem to really work the best? I'm not familiar with all the terms. I know there's transitional, there's traditional, there's contemporary, I guess, to name a few. But what are the ones that that really respond to the person that's shopping for a home, and they see that and they say, "Oh yeah, I want this house." Is there one design, or how does it work?
I don't know if there's really one design. A lot of it depends on the neighborhood you're in, the location you're in, even the different states. We might have a certain design out here in Houston that looks great, but then you take that to the Midwest where I'm from, and all of a sudden that is, it's kind of an eyesore because it doesn't work there. So there's just a lot of, background information that you have to gather from to kind of decide, is it going to be transitional? Is it going to be contemporary?
And then what's the one where eclectic? That's the one where that's kind of like that's right. I got that word right. It's a gumbo. That's everything.
Actually, we all just took a buyer's trends certification last week, and it was really looking at, so who are our buyers today? What are they buying? How much are they spending? How much are they willing to spend? How much are they willing to sell for? That also gets into all the different kinds of houses. And like they went through, and I didn't even know that there was so many different Victorian houses. But we don't really have Victorians here in Houston, so.
We might have a few in the Heights. But
a few in the Heights. And I know there's one in Bender's Landing. It sticks out. But it is so not Bender's, but there is one in Bender's. But we don't have those. We have more your
craftsman style you might find in Montrose area.
We've got your traditional red bricks and traditional stuccos. We have Tuscan homes and stuff.
I like that style.
Nice. But there's all different. And yet, inside the home, it depends upon a lot of your personality if you're living there, what that house is going to be decorated to. But if you're selling, it's no longer about decorating. It's about staging. And those two are totally different.
They are two different components.
Staging is all about the buyer. Decorating is all about the person living in the house. And so Lexi really works. And what I love about Lexi is she'll be talking to somebody and she's just drawing. And there it is. She has it right there. And so many people cannot see. They can't visualize what it's going to be. But she's already got it drawn out for you. And she's like, and they're like, oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to get to. But I haven't been able to get there. And her ability to just draw it almost to scale is amazing.
And on that thought, quite frankly, I think a lot of people live in homes, whether they're living there or buying a home. A lot of people don't know how to get to where they want. For example, they'll look at Architectural Digest or another magazine, Traditional Home or whatever it's called. They'll look at these magazines and they'll say, man, I'd love to live there. But somehow they don't know how to get from what they have to whatever there is. I know that because I'm one of those people. And you're helping people like that all the time, right?
We love doing that. It's so much, it's really fun. And one of our biggest things is that we're here to serve others. It's serving what people one at a time because we're making a difference in their lives. And we're very, very big on that.
And let me ask you, Karen, when you talk to realtors, I think a lot of them may want to take the path of least resistance and not have an extra thing to deal with. However, they want to do the best thing for their sellers in most cases. And when you talk to them about the staging, what are the things that you're telling them that really seem to resonate where they say, look, I've never tried it before, but I think it would be good for this listing or that listing?
Well, it's great, especially for owner-occupied as opposed to vacant houses. Obviously, we have a huge inventory of furniture for vacant, but when we come
somewhere there's a warehouse.
Yes, there is. A mysterious warehouse.
Lots of sofas and other stuff.
Yes, and it's very fun in there. But we do a lot of owner-occupied as well, where we come in and just do a 2-hour consultation, and we can transform that house. And it really, our goal is always to make a model home appearance because the photograph speaks volumes. And really, buying a house today is like internet dating. I mean, buyers are first falling in love online. So if they like what they see, they're going to go and meet that house in person.
Okay, I can tell you about internet dating. The photographs sometimes don't match reality. Someone told me that.
That's true. Probably true.
We had a house that was virtually staged.
That's another story.
Okay,
yeah.
So virtually staged, online it looks fabulous, but then when you get to the house, it's vacant. And it was like, oh,
where'd all that furniture
Where did it all go? I can't see myself living there. And so this one house, it was last summer. It was listed June 1st, reduced July 1st, reduced August 1st, and then they asked us to stage it. And I believe we got the call on a Wednesday, and we had it staged by Friday. And guess what? They didn't offer by Sunday.
That's how it should work.
That is what, like, had they just staged it first back in June, guess what? They would have gotten more money for it. really, really makes a big difference.
Okay, as you were talking, Karen, I'm thinking, so the logical thing, you must have it staged before the photographs are
Yes.
taken. And
Yes.
the other question is, let's say someone's living in the home and they want it staged. What do they do with their stuff?
Well, there's a few different options.
What happens?
And we really don't like them putting it in the garage
Eek.
because if you stack it up, then it appears to a buyer that there's not enough space in the house. And we're selling
Just get it
space.
out.
Yes.
So where do we take
You
it?
might have to rent a storage unit unless you have a very good friend or family member that's willing to put some things in their place. So if you can put it in your attic, that's great. But you really don't want to clutter up the garage. It's about decluttering. Less is more when you stage and
Decluttering
sell.
everywhere, including the
Everywhere.
outside of the home where
Everywhere.
you have rolls
Because
of hose or
like,
whatever.
Who falls in love? The
Yeah.
woman falls in love with the house, and where does the man fall in love? With the garage. The garage
He's going to work on his
So-
cars. It's his workshop. Every space counts. Every square inch
A
counts.
clean garage is very important.
Yes, everything. I mean, curb appeal. If they drive by the front of the house and they don't like the way it looks, they're not even going to go in
They're
and
going to
look.
keep on going. That's
Yes.
right.
You can't see it, you can't sell it. So if the trees are too tall, we start at the curb. I mean, we're talking about the trees and everything. So
And Lexi, let me ask you, as far as inspiration and creativity, what are some of the things you do to be creative or to fertilize, say, your creative brain? Or are there certain magazines you look at, or what are the sources of your inspiration when you look at things?
Pinterest is a big thing for me. Just I love looking for different ideas and then figuring out how to actually do them. Pinterest or house.com is another that one you can get sucked in for many hours later and you realize, okay, I need to get back to real life. It's just piecing together everything. You
And-
kind of find bits and pieces. You're like, oh, I like this color here and I like this piece of furniture.
And that's what I was just going to say, color. Color is so important, too. There's so many, it seems like periodically some colors become more popular than others, but tell us a word about color.
Yes, colors, we go through different trends. We have different seasons and there's even a whole science behind it. You have your blues and your greens, and those are typically calmer colors. You have your reds that tend to be, I don't know, a little more angry. It's not angry, but they have different colors, stir up different emotions, and
That's right. A color does tie to emotions, there's no question.
And even now we're seeing we're kind of seeing this flow of, for a while we were doing a lot of grays, and now we're kind of transitioning into more of we call it grayish, which is a mix of gray and beige, because we're not so much the harsh grays, but it's kind of a warmer tones and kind of mixing the tans and the grays. And so it's keeping up with what are the trends, what are we going into. That was part of our buyer trends seminar training we went through. Just keeping up with what is current, what's gonna sell, what are buyers looking for, what works, but also what some people loved purple, and so that's the color they want in their house. So we make it work, and because that's when when you're a big difference between interior design and staging. Staging's depersonalizing, but interior design is personalizing. Like, this is your home. This is what.
That's right. And we are talking with Mary Scalli with Simple Elegance, Karen Buddy, Lexi Berger. Mary, as far as business goes, you guys are having a good time with the business, and that's really the key to success, when we can be doing things where we're having fun, making a good living. However, tell us, challenges are there too when we run a business, and you have a lot of moving parts. You're dealing with realtors. That's a whole couple series of shows right there we could do. Realtors, homeowners, sellers, the personalities. You're dealing with inventory where you have to keep track. You have to have the right pieces that work for you, that bring the business in. How do you do it? And if someone's out there, whatever their business is, give them a word about how you handle challenges and sometimes where it just can be so maddening.
First of all, I'm going to quote a friend of mine, Blair Hamady, who's from Boston as well, and he has 6 stores and at least 100 homes staged at any given time. So,
What will I say that? How many?
6 stores plus over 100 houses staged at any given
Oh,
time.
my.
Okay.
You work
do.
hard.
You work hard. I have invested over and over just back into the business, and I am blessed to have an incredible team, because if I didn't have a team, I couldn't do it all, and some people get into staging and they just want to do a one-man show. But to really build a big business and a profitable business, you have to let go and hire great people that become you on steroids. And so that has really been huge to me. I tend to be very close to the buying side of the business. I also control the checkbook on everything. But, I am constantly looking at numbers. And we're also we have goals. We plan the year out and we have goals. Everybody on the team has goals to meet. so that it's not just everything on me. It's the whole team is working to make this happen.
And it's been said by many people, but I remember John Maxwell saying it takes teamwork to make the dream work, and without the right team, it could be a nightmare.
Exactly.
There's no question, right?
Exactly. I mean, hiring the right people, right from the beginning is huge. And I have to say, I've been truly blessed. My whole team, my interviews have not been very, very good about asking all the right questions. It was more that the team has brought the team together. And it was like, we need this person, we need that person. Great. And the team works so well together.
And Karen, give us a quick word on challenges. Sales is a challenging profession. It's very rewarding and all that, but how do you handle those challenges when you're out
I'm
there?
on the road all the time, which
You're
I actually
talking
love that
all the
part.
time to
I
people.
am all over the city, and I love meeting new people all the time. I mean, that's part of what I'm doing. But I've created sales tools that I can use, like I was telling you about the seeing is believing before and after. And you will certainly have sellers that, I don't know. And so when I can show them pictures that I've created a specific album of owner-occupied as well as vacant, and they can really see the difference. They begin to understand. We were working on one house that was owner occupied, and he actually had to go make a phone call. So I said, we'll just jump in and do it. And he said, go ahead. And when he came back about an hour later, and he suddenly realized, he said, I see what you're doing now with the decluttering and all. So,
And Mary, let's tell people how they can reach out to you if they want to use Simple Elegance or find out more.
877-458-8254. That's 877-458-8254. Or you can go to our website, simpleelegancetx.com.
SimpleEleganceTX.com. And of course, we want to do a shout out to your fine little canine friend Brady, who I met the other
our
day.
little Brady.
Karen, do you have a dog?
I have two very large dogs.
There you go. What about you, Lexi?
We have one, yes.
There you go. So that makes a lot of dogs between all of
I
us
think
right
the whole
here.
team has
And
dogs.
that could be for an extra option. They could get to have a dog that stays outside and is the mascot.
They could.
Kind of
They
like one of
could.
the developments
our little
around
Brady
here.
is involved in a lot of things.
That Brady is quite a guy, and I think he
was
liked
on
me
the-
when I met
he
him the other
was here
day.
last Saturday
That is
at the radio
correct.
station. So.
Well, with the last 20 seconds, what else should people know?
We are here to serve. Give us a call, 877-458-8254. If you're looking to do some staging work, just press number 1. You're going to get Karen. And if you're looking to do interior design, press 3, and you're going to get Lexi.
And if there are realtors out there listening and they want you to come by and talk about your services, they can reach out and do it just that way, right?
We'll come out and do presentations in your office. We'll sponsor breakfast, sponsor lunch, whatever you guys need.
I'm getting hungry.
We're here to serve.
Thank you, Mary Scalli with Simple Elegance. Karen Buddy, Lexi Berger. Thank you, ladies, so much for being on Successful Living with Bill Knapik today. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week. Check out SimpleEleganceTX.com. And Brady, if you're listening, I'll check you later. Until next week.